Hey up everyone, welcome back to the Rugby League History channel. Today on the channel, I'll be doing my tips and predictions for week 2 of the NRL Finals Series in 2025, the semi-finals where two teams will bow out for 2025 and two teams will progress to the preliminary final. Last week I got 2 out of 4 correct, but got close to 3 out of 4 correct because I tipped Canberra and we all know what happened there. The first of the two elimination finals happens on Saturday night. It's between Canberra and Cronulla Sutherland. This match is being played at Bruce Stadium in Canberra. Canberra and Cronulla have met 7 times in the finals. Canberra's won 3 of those. Cronulla's won 4 of those. And the last time that these two sides played in the finals were in 2020. And one of the finals matches that these two sides played against each other back in 2016, the qualifying final, was probably one of the best finals matches I've watched personally. It had a bit of everything, and Canberra were favourites to win that game. Cronulla won though, and we all remember the Viking clap that Michael Ennis did at full time, where he taunted the Canberra fans, and Canberra would ultimately make the preliminary final that year where they'd lose to Melbourne, and Cronulla would go on to make the grand final and win their first premiership in their history. Last week, Canberra were involved in what some people have described as one of the best finals games that they've ever seen. And in my personal opinion, I think it's the second biggest choke I've ever seen in a finals match. This is excluding grand finals. Obviously, Parramatta and Canterbury will always be number one for me, 1998 preliminary final. But for Canberra to be up by 16 points with 15 minutes left to go, Brisbane at one stage had 11 men on the pitch, and for them to not win the game, it's just, I don't know, if you're a Canberra supporter, you'd be absolutely devoted. And I still, I've been thinking about it all week, and I think it's the second biggest choke I've ever seen. And as for Cronulla Sutherland, they had a victory over Eastern Suburbs in the elimination final at Sharp Park. So with this match, a lot of people are talking about Canberra and the fact that the game went into extra time and they had to play an extra, 13, 14 minutes on top of the 80 minutes in regulation time, and they're going to be tired and all this, and Cronulla's going to be a lot fresher and blah, blah, blah. But I think this is going to be a tough ask for Cronulla to go to Canberra in front of another sold-out crowd in Bruce Stadium and try to pull off a victory there. And I think Canberra, they're going to be hurting from last week. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be fired up for the game. Last week was a bit of a learning curve for some of the players as well, because it was their first finals match or one of the biggest matches of their career. So I expect Canberra to bounce back on this one. So I'm going to go for Canberra to win this one by 112 points, and that will see them play against Melbourne in the preliminary final down there in Melbourne. And at the end of the day, if you know the channel, I'm not a fan of Melbourne at all. And I feel if Cronulla, if they somehow win this game and they go down to Melbourne, they're going to be sacrificial lambs down there. They don't have a good record in Melbourne, whereas Canberra do. And I think if there's one team that can beat Melbourne in 2025, it is Canberra. So I'm going to go for Canberra to win this one. And the second finals game this week is on Sunday. It's between Canterbury, Bankstown and Penrith. This one's being played at Stadium Australia. These two sides have only met 4 times in the finals since Penrith came into the competition in 1967, and they're 2 wins apiece. And the last time these two sides played in a finals game were in 2016. It was an elimination final at the old Sydney Football Stadium, and this is back in a time where it might be hard to believe, but Penrith weren't all conquering and they weren't so great. But in this particular game, Penrith ran away with it in the end, and I always remember that try that Josh Mansour scored with about 5 minutes left in the match. These two sides have met twice this year. There was the match earlier in the year where it was decided pretty much by a Nathan Cleary charge down, and then the second time these two sides played, it was where Penrith rested 16 players and Canterbury were expected to put 100 on them, and they only won by, I think it was 28 points to 6 or something like that. So going into this finals match, Canterbury in recent times, they don't have the best record against Penrith. Last week, Penrith had that pretty comfortable win against New Zealand over there in the elimination final in Auckland. With Canterbury Bankstown, they had a narrow loss against Melbourne in the qualifying final down there at Amy Park. And I said in my previous tipping video, I says, Melbourne, they'll probably win, they'll just fall over the line, or they'll have a stroke of luck go their way. And what fucking happens? Intercept try right towards the end of the game, and I went, oh, for fuck's sake. What a way to win what a way to lose a game, I should say. But for this one, I'm pretty sure all the neutrals, or most of them, will be going for Canterbury Bankstown. I've seen petitions online saying, become a Canterbury supporter for the day, and we can't let Penrith win 5 premierships in a row and all this. And there's going to be a big crowd at Stadium Australia as well. I think the Canterbury supporters will outnumber Penrith supporters 10-1. For this match as well, it's worth noting that Stephen Crichton won't be there, which I think is a huge loss for Canterbury. On his day, he's a game breaker and he can change things all on his own. For this match though, look, it's really hard to go past Penrith, just with the finals experience and know what to do in them big moments and just the way that they are on the pitch, and it's hard to go past them. So I'm going to go for Penrith to win by 1 to 12 points and book a preliminary final against Brisbane. So that concludes my tipping video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know who you're tipping and who do you think's going to be playing in the preliminary finals this year. Anyways, this has been Rugby League History. Thanks for tuning in, for subscribing and commenting and liking the videos and sharing. And I'll see you all in the next one. Ta-ra for now.